We need to start today with the Blues, and we'll go back to the match on the weekend that they played against North Melbourne at the MCG. It was a disaster, Lloyd, particularly the second and third quarters, because it left them at the end of the game with a 6-win, 8-loss scoreline and scrutiny on every single player in the team, and that scrutiny goes off-team as well, off-field as well, to the coaching staff. Yeah,
it does. It was the second and third quarters which were obliterated by North Melbourne. We're showing the hunt and the want of the young North Melbourne team who went after Carlton. It was 10 goals to 3 through the second and third quarters, including an 8-goal burst by North Melbourne. So North were outstanding. Even Simpkin here, he just hurts. He just wanted to hurt, and they were in the face of Carlton. And then this was a big blow just on three-quarter time, where after that they went on and kicked a magnificent Colby McKercher goal. So yeah, they went after them. The Blues showed a little bit in the last quarter, but it was all too late. Bossy went off at three-quarter time at his team. They got a response, but this was where it was lost. They were beaten up, and Michael Voss said bullied, Damo.
He used that word, Lord. It's not a word he uses lightly, and that is why he's using that word, because, look, Sam Walsh is not part of that graphic there, Lord. He wasn't part of the game of footy we just saw, but they were breaking down in the midfield. Their back line is a mess, and without Harry Mackay up there in the forward line, Charlie Curnow is not playing well. Let's just take a look, though, as to how dramatic this slump has been from the Carlton Footy Club. At this time last year, after round 15 of the 2024 season, they were sitting second on the ladder. Now, look what's happened since. And there's a lot of numbers and a lot of club names up there. But just if your eyes are drawn to the green wording there, you can just see the lack of quality in opponent they have beaten in the past 12 months. The Geelong win in round 7 this year is the outlier on what they have dished up regularly since that point. So this is where, Lordo, this club now is in a mode that it's been in regularly now for the best part of 30 years, since its last premiership. And we've got an incoming CEO in the name of Graham Wright, who the given that he will now undertake, Lordo, is that he's not going to accept poor performance. And he won't accept poor performance from a playing perspective, and that acceptance or lack of acceptance may extend to the coaching staff as well.
Yeah, so in my view, obviously the list needs to be seriously looked at. Lee Matthews, I did the game with him on Saturday, and he sat back, and Tristan Sherry went after Tom De Koning as well and beat him on the day, and he said, does it sit right that this guy's going to be the highest paid player in the competition just about? And we all said, no, it doesn't sit right. So I just wonder whether they say, OK, take your money, you go, and it's a way of trying to reset the list because it's so top-heavy, and they do lack a lot of depth as well.
The big names they've got, Lotto, they're all locked away on big-term contracts. Cal Toomey's been reporting here that Sam Walsh, one of those players, is also the subject of outside interest. I have been arguing for some time now that Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow are gettable for the club, and I don't say this lightly either, that if a club wants to come to Graham Wright and say, this is the deal, and it's attractive at the outset of the conversation, those conversations, I believe strongly, will also be had. And can we just focus on Charlie Curnow? He's kicked only the 27 goals this year, a two-time Coleman medalist. Just to give you the clarity, Jeremy Cameron's leading the Coleman medal this year with 48. He gets better delivery of ball into the forward line. I understand that. But what are you seeing with him?
Well, I just think the delivery's poor. I thought they moved it backwards and sideways, and be frustrated for any forward that had to deal with that. But as I said, you just got to fight and scrap for everything sometimes, and it'll be your moment for a period of time. And Toby Pink beat him on the weekend, and I felt that if he didn't mark it, once the ball hit the ground level, you're playing one short with Charlie Curnow because he does not lay any defensive pressure whatsoever. So he has to lift his game as well, no matter what's going on further afield.
And from the Michael Voss, the coach perspective, Lotto, there's 9 games remaining of this season. I feel Graham Wright, who will take keys to this footy club as soon as next month, effectively, will let that play out, and decisions around that will be based upon what he sees in the next 9 weeks as much as anything. Just to remind Carlton people, and even the wider industry, Lotto, they don't have a first-round draft pick. This is what happened in the trade period of last year. They traded out to get up to a draft pick number that got them Jagger Smith into the draft last year. He's obviously injured, out for the year. But as it stands, their first pick is at about number 35. I say about because the academy picks and other associated picks, Father Son picks, will possibly push that back. So the doom and gloom is not going to be rectified through a draft pick number this year, which is why the De Koning and other players' conversations come into vogue.
Yeah, that's spot on. Yeah, it's not the best position to be in, but Jagger Smith does be a first-year player for them, really, next year when he comes back, and then they should get an early pick for De Koning.